So as is the tradition, we say stand and remain standing. Okay? So the brief bio is she is associate professor, University of Lagos. Specialization is in the field of botany. Equally important is that she is a fellow of IREX. IREX is the International Research Exchange Board, funded by Carnegie Corporation of New York. And apart from that, she's also a grantee of IREX. So a combined honor of a grantee and a fellow. Incidentally, she needed to be a fellow before becoming a grantee, or which came first? So, and IREX, again, has a lot of support for university administration in terms of research, management, and administration, where she has built capacity in that direction. She is the deputy director, the Ted Fund Center at the University of Lagos. Apart from that, she holds at least 2 grants from Ted Fund and 1 from IREX, as mentioned before. And in addition to that, a cluster of fellowships spread across different parts of the world. She is coming to share her experience on the same thematic area over and over again, research. So I want to economize on time now and call on our sister, auntie, and mother, Dr. Mrs. Elizabeth Ademilua, to make her presentation. A round of applause, please. Somebody will help watch the program.
We're going to record the word document so that everybody have it to them. Oh, no. Yeah. This manual is supposed to be something everybody has to them. And we can feed in. Okay. We can do some assignments. Let's do the PowerPoint. I will fix it. The PowerPoint, yeah. Do the PowerPoint. Am I connected? Part of a duty as an IREX fellow to be part of any capacity building that IREX is involved in. Today I was asked to come to speak concerning visibility and reputation of a researcher. As I go through, we're all going to be participating. So we're sorry we're supposed to have this manual with you that you can fill in some information. So I will employ that if you have a paper with you, you have something to scribble in. It's just going to be a reflection. You're going to be assessing yourself so that we know where we are, where we can be, and how things could be better. So it's just reflection within ourselves. If it was a closer one, we would even have a group discussion. But as we go along, we see the atmosphere determines which direction, because I always like participatory workshops where we are engaging with each other. Next slide. So, the researcher is someone whose job is to study a subject carefully, especially in order to discover new information or understand the subject matter. Now, self-assessment, so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, every one of us here, we told we are doing early career. Some of us are late early career. Some of us are early career. Some of us are early late career. Whenever you find yourself and see a need to change, is a good beginning. If you get to a point and there is a change and you tell yourself you are too old to change, then you're going to die where you are. So wherever point you are is a good beginning and it's right to be there. So I want you to take a look inwards at yourself. Assess yourself in relation to your job, of the job of a researcher, your field. I don't know how long you've been in the university. How well have you been able to study something in order to expatiate knowledge? How well has what you're doing been able to add new idea to what you were taught? You know, we're taught with certain notebooks. So when you get a job, do you photocopy your lecturer's notebook and teach the same thing the way it's been taught? Are you still investigating the same thing in the same way? Is it giving you a new thing? So it's a self thing. You think to yourself, okay, where am I? In the terms of adding value. Now, the new information you think you have discovered so far, now try to list to them in the course of the last 5 years. What new information have you brought to your field? What new thing have you added that if we have to make this a conference of experts in your area and you're given a microphone to come and talk about your work, would you be saying something new to anybody? Or are you just perambulating around the known? Now take another time. Now, what better understanding of that subject area has your research provided? Have you done an eureka work? Something new, away from what those who taught you told you? Have you been able to take your study area in a new angle from what the norm used to be? So if we reflect on this, you'll be able to now rate yourself. What level of a researcher are you? Are you a beginner? Are you a midpoint researcher? Are you a top-notch researcher? Now, let's now talk about visibility. Now, visibility helps you to do what? Why do you have to be visible? Is it a loudspeaker affair? Must you be visible? Visible to who? You are known in your department at least. You don't have to be known in your university. OAU is very big. We're just coming. And my friend was just saying, this is a very big place compared to Unilag. In Unilag, you can walk big length and breadth of Akoka campus in one day. You go south to north, west in one day. Now compare that to OAU. So the visibility, are we talking about people knowing you in big OAU? Now, visibility showcases achievements. It tells who owns this thing. It tells who owns it. Visibility helps to bring in collaboration. Somebody knows you're doing it, and then they want to join you. You know, it's like, sorry, I like using everyday examples. It's like somebody is frying akara. So the person selling ogi, if he locates the person selling akara, they will both sell better. Because people looking for ogi don't have to say, I want to drink ogi, but there's no akara to accompany the ogi. Go with the ogi. There is nothing to eat with. The people who want to buy akara will not say, your akara is so nice, but can I just eat akara? There's nothing to use to eat the akara. So when both of you are beside each other, it's a collaboration. But the smell of the akara is one that will tell the ogi person there is akara somewhere. So that's visibility. So visibility helps establish collaboration. Visibility showcases your worth. It gives you reputation. It gives reputation. You know, reputation could be positive or negative. If I see your research work, I try to replicate it, it's not working, I write you to say, can you assist? You don't respond, so I know that, original research. So next time, if a student of mine brings in your work to, I say, don't cite that person, please. I don't want that name on my reference list of a paper I publish. No. That person has no reputation. And then, if a PhD student comes to defend a thesis, you look at the reference list and there are certain names not on that list in that area. You say you didn't cite Oseni. Go back. You are not in that area. So it gives reputation. Visibility allows for the use of data. Community impact. I was telling some master's student in class yesterday evening that whatever you study, if it does not have an impact on human life, that thing is not worth studying. There's nothing you study in life that will not impact human life. You only have to take a step backwards and see how it can make a difference. I gave them an example. As a botanist, I would approach an estate developer and I'll say, do you know that before you start this estate, I can assist you to integrate the plants around there into your layout. And we can use that to sell to people. We are not destroying biodiversity. We are looking at green life. We are incorporating it into our buildings. All that small grammar. It's just plants. I walk up to a company that has 2-story buildings and I'll say, your building is so beautiful, director. But do you know that I can help you incorporate plants in here? One of the advantages, aside from the beauty it gives, is also because they help you to filter the air. Gives you good air, especially in this place that you have AC. You are not opening your windows to fresh air. That's botany. But I needed to think beyond thinking botany is just studying plant physiology, identifying carica papaya from cola nitida. I've now brought it to the everyday thing. So your research, for you to show that, to be visible, you must package it in such a way that it shows community impact. It shows what it serves. Next. Now, by making your research visible and accessible, you increase your chances of your research being noticed, used, and having impact. So you're increasing your own reputation and chances of success of your academic work. Your academic work should not just be about collecting salary. I tell people, if you work in the university and every time you hear ASU strike, they will stop salary, you jump, you have problem. You have problem. It means you're actually using 10% of your talents. 10% of your talents, that's what you're using. If the university closes for 2 years and no salary from government, you should still be able to earn money. If you are not able to earn money, your research is not making impact. They are not adding value. Because there are many places out there that they need your service away from the board. Away from the board. So if you have not gotten to that place, you have not made yourself visible. You are not visible. Next. Now, how do you make yourself visible? Like I said, it is all about your research findings, how they make impact. So how do you package this? Now we are all familiar with publication. Publication. Publish or perish. Publication is not about, if you publish for promotion's sake, you only get the same salary every month. And you'll be shouting on the ASU for not negotiating more salary. I tell people, more salary is just more bukata. Because each time they increase your salary, what we eat it is waiting for you like this. Market woman will change price. Everybody, because they are aware of your salary. But who is aware of the money I get from the many presentations I make? Who is aware of the money I make from my soaps, my pap, from my drinks? Who is aware of all those ones? Nobody. I chop clean mouth. So, publications, conferences. How many of us even attend conferences? It's always very, very sad when I meet Nigerians, either in our national conferences or our international conferences. If it's national, they'll keep troubling us. I'm a council member of Botanical Society of Nigeria. You will hear, please, when is my paper coming up? Which day? What time? You want to appear on that day? Quick, please, put me in the morning. Put me in the morning. And then you present and you are gone. You have not come to a conference. That word from confer, we meet, we interact. You interact. Even the people who listened to your presentation, and they did not even see you to discuss afterwards. I was at a conference in the US. I don't know. That conference I didn't want to go. Something just was like, go. So I attended. First day, for me, conference is a fun fair, it's holiday. The only time you get to go, nobody is troubling me. Nobody is saying, come and attend a meeting. I can spend the time I want. So I go to conferences, not just to attend conferences, to relax. So I'm looking for the best hotel, best time, tourism, see the town. When I come back, I'm looking fresh. Work will always be on the table. It will never end. I always tell people, that is the child whose mother is yet to be born. He still will come and use my office. So that means work will not end now. Now, by the third day of the conference, in my usual way, I've presented my paper, talking to people. I went to the poster session. I met an MSc student. So I was looking through her work. She worked on tissue culture, and I was just establishing our tissue culture lab in the University of Lagos at that time. My PhD student will travel through the tissue culture is here. So we're having problems, so much contamination. Dirty. You never know how dirty our environment is until you start tissue culture. So we've tried to solve nothing. So I called the guy, I said, come, very young girl. I said, we're trying to do some work in our lab. It's a new lab, but we're having so many contacts. Named a particular chemical. I said, why don't you try this? I said, I've not heard of that. She said, there are many things in tissue culture they don't publish in papers. Very young girl, MSc. You know, that 1 minute, I felt that was my purpose for that conference. I felt accomplished at that point. Why I came all the way from Nigeria to meet MSc students. Ever since we incorporated that chemical into our work, we've not been having problem. If I had come, delivered paper, and left, I won't meet her. If when I come, I stand in one place, I don't want to interact with Oyibo, so that when I beg baggy, they will not laugh. Oyibo doesn't even know how to speak English. So what is the story? You find Nigerians staying in one place, and they are looking for you who looks like them to come and, sister me, Bao conferences. It's fine. So where have you? Emike. I just stepped in my hotel. Oh, I'm just coming. They are watching when lunch time is at the conference. When dinner time is at the conference. The next meeting, they are in the markets. That's not conference. So do you attend conference for you to meet people, which is the reason for the conference? For us to be able to interact with each other. Learn new ideas, offer your own idea, get people to interact with you. Edited works. But there are these other two ends in which we have not done much on. Using social media, newspaper, radio, because these things in terms of the use for researchers is new. Is new. Many of us are even still struggling with the use of our mobile phones. Our children use them better than we do. You don't even know what is on that phone, the app. But your 4-year-old knows, and you wonder, how did you know what to press? You that you are holding the phone, you don't know. Many of us buy very expensive phones just to do a fizzy. But those phones are designed to be mini laptops. Access to libraries, but we are not using them. Next. So we look at these other things online, modes that you can showcase yourself out of Ile-Ife. Come out of Ile-Ife. You'll be in Ile-Ife, but they are seeing you in other parts of the world. Ticket is so expensive, even those of us who travel. When you even think of cost of COVID test, you now sit back at home. You want to travel. Grants are not coming. We feel third fund grants. Money to now, how many people get it? We don't even know if they will give again for conference travel. These are means in which the world can see you. So now let's reflect. Let's reflect. In simple raising of a small hand, don't do like this. So I will see your phone. How many of us are in OKID? You have an OKID ID. Okay? How many of us have Google Scholar pages? LinkedIn. Your Facebook page, where you share and see me happy birthday. Researchgate, YouTube, Twitter. Now, all these online avenues are places where people can see you. And they are all free. They are all free. All are free. One thing that about these social media is that it shows you are bold. Now, when you apply for a grant, nobody is reading your CV because you can manipulate anything on that CV. But if they go on Google Scholar gives them all your publications. So what is your CV going to do for me when I can get it on Google Scholar? Don't input the publication there. Google looks for it once they have your name themselves. Some of us did not even know how we arrived at Google Scholar. So when Google Scholar when they wanted to start, what they did was just look for researchers and started giving they want to Google Scholar. How did I get here? But these days you can register on Google Scholar yourself. The same thing ResearchGate. ResearchGate just found all of us, put us there. But now you can register on ResearchGate. Something about ResearchGate is that it is your channel to communicate with other researchers. You read a publication, you like it, you comment. You're looking for a publication, you find the author, one of the authors on ResearchGate, but not the paper. You send a request to them on ResearchGate to send you that paper. People are rated with the number of responses they give, either in question or in uploading full text. So you don't have to go and pay for large money to access. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the business arena. Now, if companies are looking to employ people, before they advertise, they go on LinkedIn. They go on LinkedIn. They look for people themselves on LinkedIn and send interest to them. We need something, we see that you have the qualification. So when you put yourself on LinkedIn, let it sell what you really want to sell. Let it sell what you want to sell. So I use ResearchGate to sell myself as a scientist. I use LinkedIn to sell myself as a research administrator, because I know it's business people that do LinkedIn. So you determine what you want. If you go to ResearchGate and start yourself as a soil analyst, only university will reach out to you. Oil company will not come to you because they don't go to ResearchGate. They go to LinkedIn when they are looking for people to employ, for consultants. So what is that your consultancy ability? What do you think you can consult on? Every researcher in the university can consult. Everybody can consult. What is the best one that you can put out to say you can do this? Think to yourself, how do you pack? You know, packaging, it's packaging, no. It's packaging. When you arrive there, they want you to do certain work. If you don't know the clarity, go to your professor. Egbon, there is this contract I got, and they're asking me to do this. How do I go about it? That's how you start now. You start. Well, don't limit yourself. And it doesn't have to be consulting on what. I'm a research administrator by chance. So I just found myself there. So needed a new thing, something out of the lab. Something out of the lab. So I was looking for where to go. Where can I do something else? I didn't know what it was, but I knew something else was calling me. Out of both me, something else was just calling me. So I found a fellowship call to go to Italy for science diplomacy. Me, I will apply. Because God said, throw your seed. You don't know which one will germinate. So you must be able to dare. You must be able to dare. So I like to dare. What does it cost to fill a form? Press A and B. How does that cost you money? It costs you nothing. Fill it now. What if so many people don't fill it? And then, you know what you don't know? These people have money. They are looking for where to spend it new. So sometimes they are not doing you a favor, but they are using you to spend the money that they have and that they must spend. So I'm always there to receive Ibo's money. So I found myself in Italy, science diploma, and I started getting interested. Met research administrator, fantastic. From there, I moved on to IREX. Filled it, they said I should come. I found myself also there. From there, I came back. I found myself in a center that I did not even belong. Come and manage an African Center of Excellence. And I say, Mike. And the VC said, Shebi, you went to IREX. Come and show us what they taught you there. And that was how I started. That was it. If I did not go to those courses, I wouldn't be called to come and do that. And for me, each time I gained something, I would write a nice report to the university. Always. A nice report of my findings to the university. And then, I will also make my faculty allow me present a seminar. I like sharing ideas. I like sharing information. And once you do, people know that's being visible. Hey, this thing, Ademilua, she was telling us something that last time. Call her, she knows about that. And that's gradually how I wriggled my way to the top. But if I did not venture that, when I was going, people said, is that botany? I said, I don't know. Let me go. Knowledge, you don't lose knowledge now. I got there. I was the oldest. But you know me, I chance my way. In Nigeria, we showcase ourselves anytime, any day. I'm always in people's faces because I don't want you to forget me. So that's what it was. And today, people are writing, you come and present this. Can you write up this manual for us? Can you do this for us? I've earned more money out of botany than in botany. So when you're selling yourself on the social media, think out of the box. Think out of the box. It doesn't have to be your daily thing you're doing now. God has put in more wisdom in you than what you think you have. Venture it, you'll be amazed at the knowledge that you have. Next. Now, one thing is we talk about reputation. You building a reputation. Right? Now, what kind of reputation do you want to build? We have said you to try to sell yourself. Now, the quality of that is based on your report, on your research work. Either research into the basic science or art you are in, or research into community service. All that you're able to showcase. Now, visibility of your work. Are you scared to be seen? If I ask you to upload all that you have, will you be ready to upload them? That anybody in the world can see them. There are many people who, when we say upload, there are certain papers they will not upload. Because if we put those papers in Turnitin, Omakogba Woleni, you just go banga at the rate of plagiarism that is there. Are you both to claim ownership of that work? I became popular with the plant physiology works at one point because I was bold enough to argue with the topmost plant physiologists in Germany. My PhD supervisor said he's not going to respond. I said, why? I did the work. You can't argue what I did now. I'm not talking about what you did, though. It's what me I did. So I can stand and face you any day. And we went back and forth and back and forth. The man came to South Africa. He said he wanted to meet that lady. He needed to see me. I said, me not really. Because each time he came, he was very insulting. You don't know. He was writing stupid. But you know the summary of it? His group did a research. They did it wrongly. So mine exposed theirs. He's now the one to review my paper. So he wants to say mine was wrong. I said, you know the simple thing, sir. Simply reject the paper. Why are we arguing? Just say, this paper is rejected. Now. Why are you not rejecting? You are not accepting. You are arguing back and forth. Until now came out and said, I should go and read so paper. So I read it. I said, well, I can help you. I will incorporate your equation into mine, and I will explain what difference is between yours and mine. That's the best I can do. And he said, that's fine. And the paper is accepted. That's it. If I was not bold to fight that, my PhD supervisor, Omirini, he said, I cannot be arguing with such a senior person, senior Mbo, for what I did. So are you bold to claim ownership of your research work? It's only when you are bold you can upload. It's only when you're bold, somebody says, send me full paper, and you send them. Originality of the research. How original are what you're doing? If you're like me, all through the years, at about 2 times in my life, I got stopped. You know, you are doing this research, and suddenly, lack of equipment, new idea, you are stopped. By the time you look, people have even, you know what we say in Lagos, corner. They have even, the research has gone this direction. You don't even know whether they turn left or right. And you are just stopped. What do? You change lane. Once your work is not looking original, change lane. When you change lane, it will take some years to learn the new one. But you don't know what the new one will do. For me, I was going that original plant physiology. But when I saw, it was not original anymore. I changed lane. I moved to ethnobotany. Today, I have a herbal soap that is getting NAFDAC listing by the end of this month. Just because I changed lane. So you don't know. You might be in that stock place. You are frustrated. You can't tell your gas. They employed me for plant physiology. I must do. I'm teaching plant physiology. But I'm doing my research in ethnobotany. And that ethnobotany is one that also made me to find footing in the African Center of Excellence. Because it's about drug research and herbal medicine development. How will I fit in as a botanist if I was not doing medicinal plants? So I never knew that end of the road I met in physiology was because there's a new one God wanted to show me. I didn't know that inbuilt traditional medicine knowledge of the Omoloko family is still in me, and I can use it. So it came out. So maybe you are in that block 1. So when I talk about originality of your research, you breathe in. You to know is no more original. Start changing things. Start looking for other new things that you can do. That you still showcase yourself as a researcher. Reproducibility of the data. You want to have reputation? It's not simulation of data on computer. It's not growth of plants. After 2 days, 30 meters. 15, 17.5, third day, 19.28. There was a paper I sent like that to an Indian journal. And one of the reviewers said, no, the calculation is wrong. It cannot be. I hate when you argue what I did. It cannot be like that. I said, that is it. He said, no. I said, you know what I'll do? I'll send you my raw data. Why am I bold? Because I didn't simulate the data now. I said, I'll send you the raw data. Analyze it and let me know. So he did, and he got up and he said, my mistake, that I'm correct. If I had not been able to answer, maybe I withdraw the paper, I took it somewhere else. That person will mark me. This person is a original researcher. Your data might take a long time to get. Persevere. Don't look at those people. You know, there are some people in our same department, we are working together. You have not even seen them going to the field, yet they are publishing paper. You are not seeing them working in the lab, yet they are publishing paper. You have not seen the book they are reviewing. They are always in the staff club. Yes, they are publishing paper. And then you want to join them. This edge is different. Some way it will catch up. There are many professors who are just professors within our campus. Is that the kind of professor you want to be? I tell people, I'd rather take long to be a professor. But when I'm a professor, you will know I indeed profess. Than to be a professor just in professor, nobody knows you. Let me remain my doctor and people know me. Than be a professor that you cannot profess. Availability of your full test. Are you ready to share your full test with people? Because when you go on those online platforms, you have to reveal everything. You have to reveal everything. Except that the journal you publish in says that, sorry, they don't share. In fact, these days what you do, you pay them. They give you the option. If you want it to be online available, you pay money. But if you want us to lock it, it is free. I'd rather pay because it will affect my visibility. If you lock me in your journal, many people cannot pay for the full test. Who will cite me? If they don't cite me, what is my business with your journal? So I'd rather pay you and take my paper. It's better to go that extra mile. But do you know there are so many you don't have to pay? All you need to tell them that you are a Nigerian. You are from sub-Saharan Africa. There is no money. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. My center has been ready to pay money many times for our members' publication. And I'll say, please, let us just write that letter first. And they'll say, oh, sorry, we are sorry. Don't worry, you don't have to pay. That's it. So many of us don't send our paper to certain journals because you see the publication fee. That's why you run away. They will not advertise that you don't have to pay. If you don't say, they will pretend they don't know. But when you say, I'm from sub-Saharan Africa, they will say, okay, it's okay. Because they also want to show that their authors are distributed all over the world. So they need you to even sell their journal. Response to inquiries. You know, I said it. If you go on some of those things, people will send questions to you. You must be ready to respond. You must be ready to respond. That's what will keep you on those media. Twitter handles. They send queries, they ask questions, be ready to respond. What you are not ready to answer for, don't put it there. For anything, you must be ready to respond. Because it also tells them you are a true researcher. These days, there are so many grants across the sea, but there are no researchers. There are no experimental fields. So everybody is coming to Africa. They are all coming to Africa. They will write you. We have these grants we want to apply for. You would like us to collaborate with you. Simple science diplomacy. What is in it for me? Many of us jump to the bandwagon. Yay, international grant. Please put my name. How I will do? Well, I'll participate. They will use you like guinea pig and drop you. You have nothing. In fact, when they publish paper, they will have 35 authors on that paper, and you'll be number 35. Meanwhile, you collected all the samples for them. If you look at it, you did the work. But you didn't negotiate at the beginning. So that's another topic in research administration. Science diplomacy. How to negotiate. How to have the power, the control of the grants. So they will tell you 50% of it goes to our university as F&A. They didn't say that. My university too collects 25% as F&A. Come at me, Lord. Many will not, because you think they will go elsewhere. It's a lie. They will not go. They'll say, okay, we understand. Well, we meet on Zoom, we'll discuss further. Because they need you. But if you are not the kind that responds always, I'll do it later, I will respond later. Emails come, I will attend later, I'll do it later. They will move somewhere else. Next. Authorship. Who owns what? How much content is called original? Anything you do that more than 15% of it is somebody's work is no more original. It's no more original. So you have to go back to all your publications to assess originality. Now, how do we rate authorship? Who comes first? Who comes second? I don't know whether it's in OAU. In University of Lagos, we talk about first author, second author, third author, and the mark keeps going down. Even when we all worked equally. But you see, for those journals, authorship is distributed according to contribution. How do you claim authorship? You claim it by assessing your contribution to that paper, to that work. Either in content or in writing. Your authorship might not be in terms of the field work, but it might be in terms of the writing of the manuscript itself. When you determine what position you hold, then you'll be able to argue. Many of us just are happy that we are collaborating with international bodies. Our names are appearing in Elsevier journals, even if it's number 35. But you look at it, you did most of the work. They actually used your data. And those who are number 11, 18, you'll be amazed. They are their MSc students who just helped them to analyze the data, which you could have analyzed yourself. You put me in that number, I write you back. I say, no, that's not my position. This is where I'm supposed to be. And we aren't going to send it for publication until I'm put in the right place. Else I'm going to write the journal. Because the journal also wants to know who contributed what. So you must be able to understand how to calculate authorship for you to know where your position is. So from the onset, I want to know who is Mary. I want to know who is John. I want to know who is Peter. I want to know who everybody is and what they are contributing. Because publication is coming at the end. So by the time we arrive there, if I'm going to be at number 35, why are we not splitting this work? So that we look at this manuscript and see how we can write another one where I push out. Not that you sit in your winter London and I'm in this hot sun working hard and then I'm on number 35 in the name of being in Elsevier. And don't forget, when people download those papers, those from number 15 fades out. It will say ... So where will I my name now show when it's ... So you must be able to list out all contributors in order of percentage. No, don't worry. Now, commercialization of research output. You know, I said you're only supposed to have 10% of you here. There is a 90% in you that can add value outside. Now, what are the things you can commercialize in your research? Technology, your design, for those in IT, codes, your data, the data you gather every day can help in policy. Can help in policy. Your knowledge of the know. Knowledge of the know. If, as a senior lecturer, you are invited to go and make a presentation in a place, what's the least amount you can earn from it? Gone are the days where they shake your hand. If you allow them shake your hand and walk away, you are a sellout to the community of researchers. There is no shaking of hands. Because let me tell you, those who invited you have money. So don't let them give you that. This is who you are. A professor we explained that, a very senior professor, he said, the joy of making a presentation is sufficient. Mommy, what is that story? What is that story? That is why the big companies will come to the university to look for somebody who is a presenter, because they know it's the joy of making a presentation. They will go to the oil company and invite the MD and pay them in dollars. No, I want you for joy. You see who wants you? You are the custodian of joy. Knowledge, the know, is a big price. Is a big price. That is why we worship our professors. Because you cannot contest years of experience. So how can somebody now come, ask you to come and share their years of experience and be telling you the joy of presenting? So you must be able to know the value of your presentation. You are inviting me out of the country. How much will I earn per day? How much will I have per day? For coming out of my comfort zone. The white man, he prices everyone. For coming out of his comfort zone is a cost. Is a cost. If I'm going to come, what hotel will I stay? Don't worry, my sister is in Washington. What is your business if your sister is in Washington? They brought you, they take care of you. Your sister will come and I have my senior sister. She will say, hotel, will they see? We will sleep there together. Which one is my sister is in Washington? The person will come and enjoy the hotel with me. They pay for everything. So you must be able to price yourself well. I tell people in my organization, anytime I invite people, I price people. Because I want you to feel good about yourself. So knowledge is key that you can sell. Your data. They sit in the high towers in ministries. They are not lifting one leg. You can sell that data to them. They'll be so glad. Help them explain it, how it affects the community, how it impacts on, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Not that you will now say, I'm writing this, I'm giving this data to you, I believe it will benefit Nigeria. All the benefits you have given Nigeria, what have Nigeria given to you? No, you will say, I have this data. You keep the data. Not that I say see attached. What are you attaching? Don't see attached. Tell them you have the data. Let them come and meet you. It is in their budget. It is in their budget. So you must know how to sell yourself. You have a code that your university can use. Don't do champion. The people they get code from outside, how much do they pay them? They will now want to collect your code for free. No, you tell them you have a consultancy firm. They discuss with that consultancy firm. You all should have a venture. You should have a business name that you work with. You should have a venture. And then you contribute your 5 or 10%, I don't know what percentage the university collects here, for consulting outside. You pay them that one off. The rest is yours. So you must be able to commercialize your research. There is no field in the university that does not have a commercial value. There is none. I've been selling Oki for over 15 years or more. The grammar in the Ogi will make you drink the Ogi. You will even remember it's Ogi you are drinking. With the story that goes with that Ogi. And it's them Ogi they have been doing in Kwara for years. Packaging it. By the time I finish the packaging, speak in a place with old people, hey, Prof, Ogi Yenko, if you don't share, see me. That's it. It doesn't have to be what you are teaching. Being a member of this intellectual community means that your brain cells are working triple. That's what it is. I tell my students, you have not come to study botany. You have come to mature your brain cells to be able to survive in the world of man. That's what it is. That's why it's called university. It's for universal knowledge. What we are teaching you is not different from 1 + 1 = 2, which you learned in primary school. It's the same thing. But your brain to be able to manage that 1 + 1 = 2 is what we are now developing. So that when you get to the community and you're speaking to them, you'll be able to say 1 integral 2 raised to the power f minus this raised to the power is equal to 2. None. But they wouldn't have known because all the grammar that used to code the whole thing. So you must think back. I want to stir our mind to start thinking what you can commercialize. Who needs your knowledge? Start befriending who needs your knowledge. A ministry needs your knowledge. Start being their friend. Attend their programs. Speak when it's question time. When you raise up your hand, they become familiar with you. So when they need somebody, they like to put big names, doctor, professor, on their adverts. They will come and meet you to come and present a paper. You will even be the one to give them the title. They don't mind because they want to use your image. But it will come at a price. Now, in commercialization, everything can be commercialized. We even have what we call, it's not just entrepreneur anymore, mompreneur. A mother who is working, taking care of her children, but is still able to do something at home to sell. And then he's an entrepreneur. There are different classes, agripreneur. Now we have edupreneur. You as an educator able to sell your knowledge. All of us have entrepreneurial tendency. Only if you stir it up in you. That title, a lecturer in Obafemi Awolowo University, is a big one that opens door. But when the door is opened, what are you offering them? That name has already opened up for you. But what do you have in hand to offer? That will determine if the door will be open wider or if it will be shut on your face. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There was the IREX call of 2019-2020, and I want to reveal one of the secrets, what she did all the way from Unilag. Her own generation of IREX fellowship predated our own by some 3 years. But she made a call to her colleague in Botany here, Dr. Adekileku, asking for the research director, OAU, asking for my contact, asking me to apply, and that she was going to provide all the support and documentation to somebody she does not know. You remember that one? And that happened, and then my IREX fellowship came along with 4 others from OAU, and we went through the same process, including the whole training in the US. But we just want to register that add that to the content of our delivery, the inspiration, the loads, the opportunities that we can all do so much better over time and in our disciplines. A round of applause again. And I add, God bless you, ma. So it's question time now. My colleague, Professor Olumakaye, we call her inaugural lecturer. She is making waves for March to deliver her inaugural lecture. I'm using this opportunity to advertise her lecture. So she's going to coordinate the Q&A. She's also an IREX fellow. Thank you.
Thank you for that publicity, Prof. Thank you, Ma, for that beautiful presentation. I'm so sorry I came a bit late. After the morning session, I had to rush to the office to sort out some things. Now it's question time. Having listened to her, do you have questions, comments, queries, contributions? Yes, Sister Amaka. I still remember the name.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you very much, Ma, for the lecture. I wish this lecture came earlier than now. You know, for the joy of presentation. While I sat here and was listening to you, I just felt robbed. Robbed in the sense that how I wish this training came earlier than now. Sometimes in November, I got a mail from Spain asking me to help them review a Scopus index paper. I was like, how did they get my details? I was just happy. But I now say, okay, let me not jump at it. I just told them, I don't have time to do your work now. I cannot do it. They said, okay, give us time. Anytime you want, you can, maybe 1 month extra. I was just happy to give them 1 month extra. They now promised me that if you do it, just give us your own paper anytime in the future. But if I had known, maybe I should have asked for something better. But I didn't ask because I was just happy. I was just happy. They called me from Scopus to review. Yes, you know, lack of knowledge. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Now, I was now thinking, how did they, I asked my HOD, he said, I know that, you know, these journal outlets, oftentimes, in fact, maybe twice or thrice in a week, you see people contacting you, join as a reviewer, be our reviewer, do all this. So I thought it was something like that. Until they sent the document, and I was reviewing it. As I was reviewing, I saw something like, this is like what I said, this is like what I said. And I went to the reference. I saw that in the reference section, there were two, maybe Nigerians referencing that. One was a lawyer, or is a lawyer, then me, a political scientist. And I was okay. That paper was just published maybe 2 weeks from Nairobi, where they got that, where they cited me and then they invited me. And I said, oh, okay, this is where they got my details. That's about visibility. But my pain now is that I was robbed. Thank you very much. So I wish this training has come earlier than now. Thank you.
It's better late than never. Any other question? Okay. Somebody to help us with this mic. Where are the COR?
Thank you so much, Ma, for the very insightful and very enlightening and motivational lecture that you just gave us. Thank you so much. May God bless you and make you be bigger in your part. So when you talked about commercialization of our research, I could relate because and when you talk about the fact that if we don't get our salary, we should still be able to, use the 90% of our capabilities. I can relate because for almost 2 years, I was affected by the IPPI issue, and my salary was stopped. So that forced me to start thinking outside the box. And so when you were talking, I was writing everything. I was like, yes, yes, yes. So thank you so much again. So my question now is that, like you, my research is slightly tangential to my teaching, what the university employed me for, and the courses that I'm teaching in class. And I have interest and passion in a slightly different research area. So when you mentioned that you also experienced that, I want to ask you about that. How do you manage? When I just finished my PhD last year, and while I was presenting seminars, professors in my department there was a professor that actually told me, what's the this in this? Why? Nobody will promote you. They really said it to me, and for a week, I could not really, I had to sit down, and I was scared, but later I said, you know what, I'd rather, just do something I'm passionate about. And the fact that I was already thinking of, commercialization, getting money, it just gave me that boldness that, what, even if you guys don't promote me, I'll still do the research that I love. So I want to ask, my question in summary is that, what would you advise some of us who are teaching, in our class teaching, and our research areas are slightly different? What would you suggest? How do we manage that? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ma, for the very inspirational delivery of the lecture. Please, Ma, I want to understand better how to calculate the authorship. And secondly, I've learned in some other places that the last person in a co-authored manuscript is the person that provided the research oversight. And that, like somebody said, the professor in this university said that if you have more than 2 or 3 authors, she will prefer to be the last author. So I want to understand, you to help me clarify that. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again for the opportunity. You said all of us should be entrepreneurs apart from being edutrainers. Now, I am in political science. I am not in the sciences where they deal with hard materials that cannot talk and all that. And one of the things they say is that when you are working for an institution, you don't have to have another business. Otherwise, you are dividing your attention. So, yes, conflict of interest. You are dividing your attention. So how do I like NGOs. In fact, I was once in it, and because of PhD, I have to suspend it. And now I am afraid. If I go and start the NGO again, or revive it, not start, revive it again, they will now say, she's doing it, that's why she doesn't have time. And she's not coming, that's why, what can you advise me? Thank you, ma'am.
That are commercial based. These are journals that are raised by the publisher themselves. Elsevier has some journals like that. They are commercial based. So those commercial based journals, you tend to have reviewers' fee. Some of them, they also offer you, if you publish for your next 3 papers, will not collect any money. is free. So they have commercial links. So you have to know if it's a commercial one. But if it's a society-linked journal or institutional linked journal, so in those kind of journals, they do not have anything to offer you, because it's all about trying to build that area amongst ourselves, trying to help ourselves to publish. So that's what they are about. So for those ones, they will not be able to offer you anything in cash, or if they have a fee, usually they don't even have fee for publication and all that. But one thing you must know, that being a reviewer of a journal is something you can put in your CV. It's something you can put in your CV, because it means your colleagues recognize your expertise. So it's a reputation thing. So say, I'm a reviewer of, or put it in your CV like that, all the journals you review. So it adds to your CV. Another thing about being a reviewer of a journal is also, the thing is that it exposes you, makes you to know what others are doing. Because many times those things are new to you, but you're supposed to read it from the point of an expert at that end. So when you send your own publication, they believe you're already an expert. One of the things that people do when you know a reviewer, an international reviewer, you will say, I want to publish a paper. Please help me be part of it. Because let me tell you, certain names on the list of authorship guarantees no review. You'll be amazed at many foreign papers you have read. You yourself say, who accepted this one? Who accepted this one? Your own that they threw away without even checking is far better than this. But check the names of the authors. There are certain people, like my German professor, that must not be questioned. I had a paper to be published, and my supervisor said, before we can publish this paper, we must send it to a certain professor in America, because he's the expert on that topic. And we sent it to him. He told us he will get back to us. 6 months, 1 year, he's not get back to us. I said, please, can we send him a reminder? We sent him a reminder. He wrote a series of questions. You know my own kind of work, I like to trouble water. My work was questioning their work. So I told my professor, where I come from, your work cannot be questioning another person's work. I think the person will. He said, yes, he was expecting that they would say, can we collaborate on this or work further on it? But the man gave a series of queries on the work. I sat down and I answered them one by one and sent it to him. This happened in 2004. He has not replied today. So after waiting another 1 year, I told my supervisor, I'm sending this out. And he said, if I'm sending it out, he doesn't want to be part of it. He will guarantee me any place I send it to in the US, it will be rejected. I said I'll send it to Asia. But the point is, first to publish owns it. I said my mind says they are in their lab trying to repeat these experiments. And very soon they will publish this same thing. So I went to Asia. I said, I don't mind. Whether it's predatory journal, it's not predatory, it is already there online. That kills whatever they are doing in their lab. I publish that one. I publish my response to his question. So that if he will plan tomorrow to come up with a paper reviewing my work with those questions, I've answered all the questions. That was where everything ended. Till today, they've not been able to query that paper. So, visibility. As a reviewer, it makes your name to be a power in the IA realm somehow. Now, in terms of, let me still stay with you since you have another question. In terms of what you can do. Now, I'm happy you mentioned NGO. Do you know there are many grants out there that require you to collaborate with an NGO? not own an NGO, but you must collaborate with an NGO because they want impact, societal impact of the work. They want to be sure you are working with the community. So you're lucky. You already have an idea about NGO. Why are you not making some people you know come up with an NGO? And you will be the advisor of that NGO. Show their support. In terms of people saying, she has gone with NGO. Well, whenever you drive a fine car, they will not be happy. So they are bound to talk. If you are not shining, look at your second. Obo Shebu. Even the lecturer job is not even showing her. That's what people like. So the fact that they are talking about it means you are making an impact. One thing I always tell people, our primary assignment is teaching our students. Whatever you do, make sure you do that primary assignment. Make sure it is your primary. Attending meeting, director of this, they are not the primary assignment. Your primary assignment is to teach the students. We are our customers. Without them, we can't be here. So once you deliver on that, nobody can question you. We don't mark attendance, whether you came yesterday or you came to, I don't know whether you mark in OAU. But we don't mark, but your work, your students don't say you have not come to class or you don't teach them well. And I always tell my students, I go out there to bring knowledge to you. I don't want to teach you something you cannot apply. So when I talk, I'll tell them what happened to me last week, so they can know that this thing is real. If you have not done it, you have not tasted it, you are telling me it is sweet. Well, show me. We keep telling our students, this field, do you know you can work in many places? How many are you working? How many? They can't be deceived now. But show them evidence of the things you have used the knowledge to do. Nobody can question. I said that if you're a political scientist, election is coming. My sister, bedroom bere now. Are you going to just watch them? You will approach one of the politicians, speak all the gizim. How you can help to package him. They have free money. Even when he doesn't think what you are doing will add value. But just to say you are a lecturer from OAU that is on his team, he will put you in. So you can set yourself. You understand? You can analyze. Approach the TVs. You have a topic. What is the burning issue in society? Go to TVC. They don't have people to showcase. Now you are offering yourself that you want to speak on that topic. And they start to call you. Anytime such a thing comes, they will be calling you. That even if it's on Zoom, let's air your view. That is how Minister A will see you, special advisor. Oh, but just remember me when your money comes. My sister, yes, it's always a big thing. I was in Penn State University, and I was asking the director of research, who is like the DVC research. And I said that we, the younger ones, have many ideas of how we can change the status quo in research. But that it's very difficult in a traditional university system. Now, how does he think one can make the change? He said, then he had 2 more years in the university to retire. He said, the problem is my generation. Until my generation leaves, you people cannot do that. Summary. Our people are so traditional. Our professors are rigid about the way they think. So there are many things, if you want to rock the boat, be ready to leave. But rather than rock, I always tell people I like working with old people. Rather than rock the boat, shift it 1/2 inch at a time. Don't rock it like this. Just keep tilting it. Keep tilting it. I have to do it. Keep tilting it. So I've been able to do that conveniently in my department. So people know me. Ademilua has a way of tilting things. Because I know by the time I keep giving you the urge, you too will say, they travel now. You too will be able to say, let's try this thing. That which I know, I'll keep doing underground. That which you want me to do, I'll keep doing it at the surface. So I'm not questioning your authority, but I'm still doing mine on the ground. So, now, I say botany should show products. I say I still argue it. How can University of Lagos tell me that you have more than 20 first class in engineering? I don't see any products. I don't understand it. What project did they do? Where is the design? You know, we have to come out from the book knowledge. And they wonder I'm tilting tradition because they want to keep using their old notes. They don't want to change out their notebook because they have not exposed themselves. I was telling my friend, I said, I've offered faculty internship. The African Center of Excellence offers faculty internship, 1 month industrial internship, and you'll be fully paid. I've offered it to my colleagues. Nobody has come forth. Go to the industry, go and see how they practicalize what you are doing, and then come and teach it. Nobody is ready to go. Nobody. So keep doing your bits. By the time they start seeing your output, they now want to approach you. Come on, you want be? Enter my office, close the door. Share this thing with me. So you understand, one day, the truth, no matter how you do the candlelight, one day it will shine out. So keep doing it in every bit, moving a little each way. But don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. It doesn't work, except you want to leave. You understand? I didn't say don't leave. But the point is that while you are still here, work with the system. You understand? But accomplish your own on your way. One day they will just hear your name and say, how did they know you? Hey, Nemo, I was just doing my own thing. You are now popular. Hey, how did you do it? Then you tell them. You know, you tell them. Like I always say, when I used to travel with my money, where were all of you? If you say, so now that I travel with sponsorship, you are now wondering, person will say, make you no go up. You go die in you. Now, authorship. The fact that a professor says, because I don't need any paper for promotion, I will be not the last person, doesn't mean another professor must do it. So let's not always think, the professor who is older must always go last. It's about contribution to the research. Research idea, who is it from? Who brought the idea to the table? That's the first thing. In terms of actualizing the idea, what part did each person do? Which part can we do away with and still be able to achieve what we did? Because some parts you did it, but the idea, the result is insignificant. But we still put it as part of it. Who, when we have finished everything, only helped us to read the English. Only help us to read the English. So you find your supervisor will say, go and give it to my friend to help us read the English. The truth is they've said to themselves, when you want to publish paper, put my name. There are some people who will be on that list. Talking about authorship. that why is it that when we assist with research, they don't put our names as part of author. I said, when they come to you with the sample to analyze, and you say you need, there is no hydro, there is no chloro, there is no sulfur, there is no faith, there is no 6, not to talk of acid. And then they give you money to go and do it. You have taken your authorship. I said, you have taken your authorship. You are not talking about authorship where? You were a technician on that research. You are a technician. So we don't recognize technician. Because if we give you that paper self to tell you to show us, you don't even know what we did with that data. I said, but when we come to say we want to do this work, we want to know what we want to do, you tell us, okay, do you know that rather than use this method, we can also use this method. And when you did the work, you helped us to analyze it. You are now a co-worker in the vineyard. I said, so you must decide. So some people might act as technicians, and they have been paid off. So the person who comes number one is that person who was part of idea and who was part of the work. Not just the work, but the idea, conceptualizing. You can have an idea, you call your PhD student. I tell, when I call you that I want to do this work, put your idea down. Say, why don't go and do your research, tell me the new ways we can, so you are part of the idea. Now, who are those who did, they are not part of the idea, but they did part of the analysis. What portion of the methodology did they do? How relevant is that thing to the whole work? In terms of without it, how far would the whole thing mean? If without it there is no interpretation, that's a key person. If without it, we can still wriggle our way off. If without it, the paper can still exist. Well, just because they've been part of it, unfortunately, their own part did not yield results. But they are putting efforts, we put them there. Those who cross the T's and dot the I's, and you know what? They are the last part. So if your PhD student was part of the conceptualizer, was part of doing the work, was part of the manuscript, he comes forward to the front, even if he's only a BSc holder. He comes forward. If all you did was give the idea, this is the idea, go and do it, and they went to do it, they went to do everything, they analyzed the results, they wrote the paper and came to you, you are moving backwards. But if after we did everything, we needed an expert, you know, like what we call the second supervisor, an expert to help us look at it holistically, to see what, if it moves with the right trend, then the person comes last. But if I'm part of the first, and I choose to be last, it's my choice. It doesn't make the person who chooses to be in front bad. It's only saying, give me credit for what I have done. So that is normal. Give the credit. But really, I say this. If you have become a professor, what are you submitting your list of publication for? You want to be what? So at least let the young grow, move back. It's still counted as part of your publication. Because when you want to be emeritus, they should be able to say you have 152 publications. Fine. Whether you are last, you are middle, it's still counted. So I still say that as we get older, we begin to move back a bit. But if you still need it for promotion, and first author, second author counts, in points, struggle to be in front. Oh, you don't want to have 10 publications, they will now add half mark. I don't understand. But basically, my own thoughts, like I always say everywhere. Every author counts. And I believe there should not be half mark, quarter mark for anything. Because sometimes we all will do the same work, but somebody just has to be in front. Sometimes it's like that. So usually I always say, people should write, what is your contribution to that work? Some of my CVs, I write it like that. Contribution to the work. I will now state it. I will now explain what I did in that work. So we should, if you have a good contribution, you state it even if you are at the back. But like I said, if it's with Oyibo, fight them. Oh, let them tell you who is who. You'll be amazed. It's their students who did not even come out of the room. They are putting in front of you because their skin is white and your own is dark. So me, till I die, me and Oyibo will always fight. Because that one, I will not go into second slavery. Consultancy. Now, I don't know how it works here. In the University of Lagos, when you do consultancy, you give certain percentage of your fee earned to the university. Because it's believed that you have used part of university time to do that. But it's such a minor amount that shouldn't derail you from consultancy. Now, but you must also recognize that in doing consultancy, except you have like the Unilag consults. If you don't have a consult that you can hide under them, then you have to establish yourself as a consultant, an individual consultant. Have your card, have your letterhead with your name. I just engaged an individual consultant for a website. They were arguing I should do company. I said, I'm not doing a company. I don't need a company to build a website. Only one person will build the website. There must be individual consultants in this rule. I want an individual consultant. So as an individual consultant, now you must have a good profile. Your profile tells what you can do to detail, up to the use of Microsoft Excel. You must be able to state all that you can do in full. And for any work you have done, even if it's you escorted them to go and do it, you should state it. Yeah, you've been part of this, you've been part of this, you don't know which one will count. State all that, whether as a student, whether as a research assistant, whether as a friend, whatever way, even if you didn't earn money from it, state all that you have consulted, you have done in form of consultancy. What is consultancy? Is you giving your professional advice or professional analysis for a job. So state what you can contribute. When you are invited to any of this, you must be able to always know what is your market price. That means what is obtainable in the market concerning people in your field. Sometimes this salary we earn has so much belittled our brain that we always think saying that I want to collect 500,000 naira is a big money. It's so big. Now, many times when they approach you, you don't want to sound like it's all about money. But you first show them you have the expertise. When they are getting serious, so you now ask them that what is the fee that they have budgeted for this. If they have not budgeted, they will go back and go and budget to come and give you that answer. I just want to know what is your fee. So I will know the level of work that you will be needing. Because if you need so much, it depends on the fee you are ready to offer. Because I might even have to include some of my research assistants, even when it's only you that will do it. I have to include some research assistants into this work, so I need to know what to fee. Some of them will say, name your fee. And then you say, give me this. When you look at the scope, now think about yourself. How much can you price yourself for an hour? 1 hour of your time. How much is it? Don't use your salary to calculate 1 hour of your time. So don't use that to calculate 1 hour of your time. So what do you value as 1 hour of your time? Then, if you have to leave your comfort zone, what is the minimum you'll be paid? That will be your per diem in dollars. your per diem in dollars. So what will be your per diem in dollars to leave your comfort zone? Depending on your status, 206, 381, 402, depending on your level. Either you are an assistant lecturer. And you must be able to justify this. I remember the IREX grant. So after doing the budget, I now put there for the, what did I tag myself? I looked for a name to tag myself. I gave myself one big name. The person, the summary, and they are seated, they have stood up. I now gave my calculated what my value will be in naira. I put $2 and I put it there. So they now wrote back to say, why am I getting paid? And I said, my university believes that while I'm doing this, I'll be forfeiting certain work in my department. So the value of the number of hours that I will invest from writing the manual, calling the expert and bringing from the US, picking him up as I've calculated the hours. And so I've timed it by how much I would normally get per hour on this job, and this is the amount. So if I don't get paid that amount, that means I'm shortchanging my university. They paid me. But then, if I had written the grants, I didn't put that, they will not tell me, Bola, you didn't put the amount to collect. They will never. They will never. So I put it there, and I was ready to defend it. That this is it. So when you are doing your calculation, make sure you have answer for everything. Somebody might price himself 10 naira. I price myself 15 naira. Maybe it's myself. It's myself. And you know that some people will not give you a job because you price yourself low. Because they want some people with certain high esteem. So consult with people who do the same thing. The first time we told a professor she can earn 250,000 from presenting a paper, she said, it's like, tell them it's 250,000. She told them it's 250, they said she should come. I said, you know, ma, they need your name on that poster. That's it. When they pay her 250,000. You know, sometimes you don't get 250,000 in the month. Cooperative has taken most of the money. So, in becoming a consultant, meet with people who are consulting, not in the university, outside, so that you can price yourself well. And when somebody says no, when they say, so you are too expensive, we won't take it, don't say, come back, I will take, no, let them go. Don't say, let them go. That is your price. When they want your name, they will come back. The money you think is big, our students who are graduating are earning 1 million per month. My son, who is a youth corper, his salary is about 70% of mine after many years of teaching and laboring. Youth corper, neo. They are even working from home. So, we must at least raise up ourselves. Even if ASU has struggled and they have not been able to achieve it, let's earn the rest of the money out there. But remember your primary assignment. Please, all our students must be taught according to the timetable. Thank you.
So we can do better. Somebody said Auntie Bola could squeeze opportunities out of anywhere. This is so motivating for all of us. So we have 2 brief items remaining. There will be updates about the remaining series of workshops to tidy up the whole program. But before then, we want to draw attention to the opportunities available with IREX. She spoke so authoritatively. It's all about IREX and the opportunities. And you remember our brother Tunde Akindele, was it 2 weeks ago or last week? You remember him? It's also IREX. IREX calls over 20 years now. And they provide opportunities for diversifying your knowledge base. They have about 10 thematic areas, from grantsmanship, research, responsible conduct of research, research integrity, research compliance, ethical issues, intellectual property, visibility, institutional visibility, researcher visibility. There is something for everybody. So part of the take-home, apart from the certification from these workshops, is to connect with IREX. Again, IREX is over 20 years now for UASP, that's the University Administration Support Program. We all benefited from that, and we want that. We are the first set of OAU staff to benefit, but we don't want that to stop. The opportunities are there. The calls come out every year or every other year. And it has a certification from a George Mason University for participating in the program, plus a 5-week stay in the US, and then a lot of follow-up activities, including grant. There's the fellowship, there's the certification, and of course you have all the goodies that Bola is enjoying now. Not be so. So take home gift for being so steadfast in attending all these workshops is to connect with IREX, and the website is irex.org, IREX, for International Research Exchange Board.org. Please connect with IREX, and I'm sure with the presentation of our sister here, it really shows the loads. What was your thematic area? Visibility or grants now? Or all the 10? So a round of applause again for her. My colleague will do some housekeeping announcements and then the closeout for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. And I want to congratulate everyone and to join the other people that have appreciated our presenter to say thank you for that brilliant presentation. I've been blessed. We have 3 more sessions to go. But the last one will be this February. Then we'll put it on hold. Then the last 2 will come up sometimes, maybe in the next 2 months, after which the certificates will be issued. Next week, it's going to come up on Tuesday here at 11 a.m. And that will be the last for this season. Yes, it's going to be on Tuesday here. We will send the information to the platform. Tuesday here, 11 a.m. We shifted this to 1 p.m. today because we had to do the support staff session in the morning. The administrative officers that are involved in research management and all of that, they were here in the morning. So that is the announcement, and I want to congratulate you. And next week, I think we are going to dwell more on the third stream agenda, which should be the end product of any research activity in a 21st century university. Any research you are conducting should not end up on the shelf. Publication is the traditional way of, transfer of knowledge. But it should go beyond that. And that is what we will be talking about on Tuesday. Please make sure you are here early, talking about commercialization, talking about strategic design in research, how to be strategic, how to actually identify the gap, how to, develop your proposal to meet a need. After conducting the research, how to take it outside the university environment or your shelf or your office or your lab to the outside world there, where should be the end result. A research conducted that does not impact the society has no meaning and has no impact. And that is the last thing we're going to be doing this season. And it's coming up on Tuesday, 11 a.m. here. Then we'll put it on hold. Then later you'll be communicated on 2 more sessions, and that is the community of practice. It's a web-enabled thing. This one is going to be a hands-on program. There is a website we are developing presently, and you are so blessed to be the first beneficiary, and you will be exposed to that website. You are the one that will first enjoy that website before it is launched and put on OAU website. And that will be the icing on the cake. After that session, then your certificates will be issued. And that will be it. Then we are available for consultation. Like I said, I'm inviting you for my inaugural lecture, March 8th. Please diarisize that. I'll see you in Oduduwa Hall. Thank you, Dr. Ademilua. Professor Oseni, thank you. And Professor Katie sent our greetings. She will see you next week. God bless you. Have a lovely evening.